Well, this is my truck. It's a 2007 International 9400 I Series. This is the last year for the 9400 I Series. They went to the Pro Star after that. But this is just a basic freight truck. It has a ISX Cummins diesel with it's 15 liter. It's got a Fuller 10-speed transmission in it. It's overdrive. It's got 358 drive gears. What that number means in the 358 is the drive shaft has to turn 3.58 turns to make the tires turn one complete turn. And as you can tell, I'm hooked to a trailer as well. And I've made statements on others people's videos that it seemed like it was really hard on the starter and the batteries, and that it would be easier to just air it up and pull it to get it started. And I had a couple of people tell me that you can't do that, but I've done that many a time. I've been driving trucks for 40 years, and actually almost 41, but anyway, what you can do if you don't have air pressure is you take this line right here, hook it to another line on a truck that's running, and you can air it up. And then all you have to do is hold in the trailer supply valves, and that'll put air back through here. And when the air gets equalized, then of course you're not going to build up any more air pressure, but you'll have enough air pressure to release the brakes. And then you just pull it. If you're bobtailing, what I would do is use 7th or 8th gear. That works out real well that way. It makes it easy to spin the engine over. It don't spin it over very fast, but when you consider the starter only turns the engine over at about 90 RPM, maybe 100 RPM, that's about it. Whereas if you're pulling it, even in 7th or 8th gear, you could be turning 200 to 300 RPM, which is considerably more, and it makes it easier to start. Now, if you were loaded, and I've done this before, in 12-degree weather, a gentleman, he is up in New Jersey and he couldn't get his truck started, and he asked me if I had jumper cable. I said, well, no, I got a chain. He said, well, I don't have any air pressure. And I showed the gentleman how we could air it up, and we pulled it. Had a 350 horse Cummins. Like I said, it's about 12 degrees out. This thing's been sitting overnight without being run, and the batteries were too low to crank it over, so we pulled it. And I think he used 3rd or 4th gear. Of course, he did have a heavy load, and I used 2nd gear in mine, and I had him up to about, he said it was about 1500 RPM, and we pulled it about 100 yards and got it started. And before it finally started, but after it started, it was fine. But it can be done. A lot of people say you can't, but I don't know what they're coming up with or how they claim that you can't do that, but I've done that many a time over my 40 years of experience. And like I said, it's not that difficult, and it just makes sense. Now, if you've got a truck that has one of those auto shifts or automatics, you can't do that. In fact, if you tried, you could probably do a lot of damage to the transmission. So I would not recommend that if you have an auto shift transmission. Or if you have an Allison automatic, I don't think you can pull start an Allison automatic. I don't think you can do it. Maybe you could, I don't know for sure, but I don't think you can. But anyway, I'm getting my trailer unloaded right now. As soon as I get my trailer unloaded, I'm going to get out on the road, and I will show that after I get this thing rolling, I'll put it in, I don't know, I could use 4th or 5th gear, whatever, it really wouldn't matter. And I'll show you that you can get one of these things started just by letting the clutch out with the transmission in gear, and you're moving. It's really pretty simple. I mean, you can see those in people doing that with cars on YouTube videos, but for whatever reason, people don't think you can do it with a truck. But I'll show you that it can be done.